When you think of the world's most powerful criminal organizations, names like the Medellín Cartel or the Russian Mafia might pop up. But lurking in the shadows of modern crime, one cartel stands out, not just for its ruthless operations, but for its uncanny ability to blend into legitimate industries while running a vast empire of drugs, violence, and global reach. That cartel? The Kinahan Cartel. With an iron grip on the underworld, the Kinahans are a name that strikes fear into the hearts of many. Few dare to cross them, and even fewer have the courage to challenge their empire. So, how did they get here? Let's take a deep dive into the rise, operations, and global influence of the Kinahan Cartel, one of the most formidable criminal forces of the 21st century. The origins. Christy Kinahan, the Dapper Don. It all began in the 1990s with a man who would come to be known as the Dapper Don, Christy Kinahan. The name wasn't just for his sharp suits and polished appearance. It was a perfect disguise for his criminal genius. Christy's suave demeanor helped him mask the true nature of his operations. But underneath that polished exterior was a man on a mission: to build a drug empire. In those early days, Christy wasn't about flashy violence or dramatic headlines. He was all about the business. His network was built on a foundation of narcotics, primarily cocaine and heroin, smuggled in from South America. But Christy didn't just focus on the drug trade. He understood that logistics were key. He had a remarkable ability to move drugs across Europe's porous borders, staying one step ahead of law enforcement while expanding his influence. By the early 2000s, Christy had built a formidable cartel that controlled major drug trade routes across Europe, the Middle East, and even parts of Africa. But he wasn't just building a criminal operation. He was constructing an empire, one that would operate seamlessly on a global scale. As the years rolled on, however, it became clear that the future of the Kinahan Cartel was in the hands of his son, Daniel Kinahan. Global influence, an empire that knows no borders. What truly sets the Kinahan Cartel apart from other criminal organizations is its ability to exert influence on a global scale. While the Medellín Cartel may have ruled the drug trade in the 80s and 90s, the Kinahans have created a worldwide network that allows them to operate almost anywhere. From Europe to the Middle East, the Kinahan Cartel has spread its tentacles into every corner of the globe, using both their criminal and legitimate business ventures to maintain dominance. Their connections in the boxing world, for example, have given them a unique platform to move freely in the public eye. Figures like Daniel Kinahan have become well-known names in the sport, even though their criminal activities remain well hidden behind the glitz and glamour of professional boxing. This combination of criminal activity and legitimate success makes the Kinahan Cartel one of the most elusive and dangerous organizations in modern crime. Daniel Kinahan, the new face of the cartel. By the time the 2010s rolled around, the Kinahan Cartel was already a force to be reckoned with. But as Christy Kinahan, the founding patriarch, started stepping back, his son Daniel Kinahan was ready to take over the reins. Daniel's entry into the cartel's operations was more than just a natural succession. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one where perception and legitimacy played just as big a role as the cartel's underground dealings. Daniel wasn't content with simply running drugs and arms across borders. He knew that in the world of modern crime, blending into legitimate circles was key. And so, he took an unusual and very effective step. He became involved in boxing. Now, you might be thinking, how does boxing relate to a dangerous cartel? Well, for Daniel, it was the perfect cover. He started managing and promoting high-profile fighters, including none other than Tyson Fury, a world-renowned champion. The cartel structure, a corporate approach to crime. So what makes the Kinahan Cartel so dangerous? It's not just their ability to dominate international drug routes, arms smuggling, and money laundering. They run their operations with a level of sophistication that's almost corporate in nature. That's right. While traditional criminal gangs might operate with disorganization and chaos, the Kinahans run a tight ship, like a military-style operation with clear ranks, duties, and responsibilities. At the top, you have Christy Kinahan, the founder, and his son Daniel, the operational leader. But the family doesn't do it all themselves. Below them are key figures like Sean McGovern and Liam Byrne, who oversee different regions and sectors of the cartel's sprawling empire. Each person has a role to play, from logistics to enforcement, and their job is simple: keep everything running smoothly. With such a well-oiled machine, the cartel has been able to expand and grow in ways many criminal organizations can only dream of. Their reach extends across continents, from Europe to Africa to the Middle East, making them a key player in the global drug trade. But it's not just about drugs. The Kinahan Cartel has diversified into arms smuggling, using global networks to move weapons to various regions. And in an incredibly savvy move, they've infiltrated legitimate sectors like real estate, a global empire steeped in violence. Of course, no cartel can stay at the top without a willingness to enforce its will, and the Kinahans are no strangers to violence. While their operations are often hidden behind layers of legitimate business, anyone who dares to cross them is met with swift and brutal retribution. Whether it's settling scores in the drug world or silencing those who threaten the empire, the Kinahan Cartel isn't afraid to get their hands dirty. Their influence spans not just criminal circles, but also political and business environments, giving them a level of power that many other organizations simply don't possess. The combination of a corporate-like structure, a global reach, and a brutal enforcement strategy makes the Kinahan Cartel a powerhouse in the world of organized crime. The future of the Kinahan Cartel. Despite increasing efforts from law enforcement agencies around the world to bring the Kinahan Cartel to justice, the organization remains one of the most elusive and dangerous criminal enterprises on the planet. As long as they continue to use legitimate businesses as a cover for their illegal operations, their global influence is unlikely to fade anytime soon. The rise of Daniel Kinahan as the face of the cartel has only solidified the Kinahan family's position at the top of the criminal world. By understanding the importance of perception, blending into legitimate circles, and running their operations with military precision, the Kinahan Cartel has built an empire that's nearly untouchable. The cartel's legacy of drugs, violence, and international influence is one that will likely continue to shape the global criminal underworld for years to come. In a world where the line between legitimate business and organized crime is often blurred, the Kinahans are masters at staying just one step ahead. The cartel's structure, a corporate approach to crime. So what makes the Kinahan Cartel so dangerous? It's not just their ability to dominate international drug routes, arms smuggling, and money laundering. They run their operations with a level of sophistication that's almost corporate in nature. That's right. While traditional criminal gangs might operate with disorganization and chaos, the Kinahans run a tight ship, like a military-style operation with clear ranks, duties, and responsibilities. The Kinahan Cartel has diversified into arms smuggling, using global networks to move weapons to various regions. And in an incredibly savvy move, but what makes this corporate approach so effective is that it allows the Kinahan Cartel to operate in plain sight. With legitimate businesses providing the perfect cover, they can move money, goods, and people across borders without raising any red flags. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, they maintain control over smuggling routes, ensuring that their grip on the global market remains unchallenged. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, press the subscribe button, and also drop your thoughts in the comment section.